Hello. How is your weekend so far, chat? Anything special gonna happen today? Have you been with your parents? Let me switch the scene. This should be it. There we go. Full screen. Oh, this is just a mess currently. This is my other mess. But I think that's fine. There's something that I would like to do actually. Let's save this. Call it Concat versus combine. Checkpoint loader. Take then that one. Let's go for anything, everywhere. We will have to have a couple of those. Yeah, let's make a couple of images. Latent. We will go down. It's 512 by 512, fine. Or should we go lower? Should have it in my tools here in the upscaling tool. Can be 360 by 360. We try that. Depends on the content that we're trying to make. Oh, that's the height. 240 is height. And we go 1080p. Might be a little bit too wide. We will see. And we're gonna go for a sidebar. Make that a little bit wider. Let's try 240. And then we go 960. So what we want to do is we want to create different images. And to make that, we're gonna go for different color schemes. Keep everything in one set. There we go. So the question is, what can we do? Are we gonna make it simple and use the prompt refiner for those things? Yeah, I think so. That's also, then I'm also able to show what the prompt refiner is actually to do. It's fine. We will have to have a case sampler. Very nice. Let's create an image. We're just gonna make Euler. I'm becoming a Twitch master. I wouldn't go that far. Yes. I need to have a groups everywhere, I guess. Oh no, I don't need to. I need to have mute basically. Fast muter, random unmute. So we want to mute this one eventually. Can't see anything. Resize. It's already resized. I literally don't like that it is like that. I guess I have to live with it. Align to the top. Align to the top. So what are we gonna do, huh? What are we gonna do? We put you up here. We put the juggernaut over there. We put this one over here. Is that my little setup? Mute this, mute this. So we take single input, a sphere, crystal ball reflecting the sunlight, deep dark universe background. So the reason why I do not put a negative in is just to give the AI as much freedom as possible with the initial image. If it does something that we don't want to see in there, then we can still refine it afterwards. But this is rather descriptive prompt, to be very honest. Usually I don't prompt this way, but I'm just trying to help the AI as much as possible in the combination prompt. Here we have Earth here. Simple background. I don't like that it is just black, or that it is. Oh, nice. Okay, so surrounded by stars, we now have the Earth. On top of the Earth, we have no stars, but we have something that we can work with. Okay, we have a decent image that I think that we can refine by concatenating. So we have a sphere, a crystal ball reflecting the sunlight. That is our subject. It's a tricky one because we basically have two environments. We have the environment within the crystal ball and we have the surrounding for the viewer as well. But we take that as a shot, including the close-up. I think we will also add some details to the image now. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tokens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tokens. We got everything over. Quality, masterpiece, best quality, high quality. Do we want to have it photorealistic? We want to have it hyper realistic. 8K is fine, high resolution. Texture. We want it to be glossy, organic. Oops. Lighting. I think we want to have it a little bit more light or softer in lighting. Natural light. Well, I mean, it comes from the universe, so try me. No shadows. Loop. No loops. Others. We want to have the thing in sharp focus, and then we want to have the diffused background. Let's see what kind of image we get with this.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
I have to say, the other one was better. So this node automatically concatenates order. Input 1, input 2, input 3, everything has the same value. This was actually it's actually funny. The quality we see is way better in this image, but we don't have the universe and stuff anywhere close. The viewer spin space, we put that one higher. So this actually gave us a pretty good crystal ball. We have the sunlight reflected, we have the universe in the background. It's actually quite good. Now let's see what concatenation does. We have 1.115 in the universe here. There we go. Okay, that's not enough. Then let's do it differently. Might as well be that we need to enhance the outer weight instead of the inner weight. We get in somewhere. This is quite interesting though. So in the concatenation, that looks like one of the marbles with the thing inside. I'm now curious. I will deactivate those tokens here. God dang it. That's the reason why. I am so stupid. Just by getting this image. Oh, I'm so happy that that there's no camera facing on my face. You guys, you can see my mouse cursor, right? So this mouse cursor is now my eye tracking on my imaginary camera. So I get this image, like think, my eye goes what? Think immediately over here. And what do we see here? Seed randomized. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. I deserve that. I was expecting the other image. I was already expecting the other image the other time. But I was just like, no, I must be doing something wrong. Oh yeah, I wrote stars wrong. And then I get this image. And then it's like, frunk, randomized. This was never a fair test. Yeah, that is literally one of those, holy, dang it, I'm stupid. Okay, shall we start testing now that we figured that I'm actually stupid? So yeah, we have now finally an image that we can compare, where we can compare, combine versus concatenate. To make it even more visible that this is concatenating and not combining in the sections there, we can take this out. So we go over to concatenation again, category input, confirm. We will get this prompt over here, which is basically then our combination prompt, and then we take this input here, put that over there. So the next image that I make will be this image again. Not this one, but this after. So if I now queue again, we will get this image. Here we are. Here's the same image as before. So this is the same as combining. Taking the output here, combines the prompt. Taking that one here in, concatenates the prompt. It would be the same as if I use one for this one, one for this one, one for this one. I can also show you that. So this is the combination here, and we call that combining. Now I need to have 5 new. So here you see subject, 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 subject. This is just meant to guide you. There is no need to call your stuff subject or whatever. And then we take this one here, put that over there. Take this one here, put that over there. Then we have the style goes in here. We have the shot goes in here. And we have the details that goes in here. Then we combine, take that together. This is my concatenation. Okay, perfect. I ask him, are you ready? Yeah, I'm ready. Provide him the code. No response. That's funny. He wasn't that ready after all. No, he probably wasn't. He's just looking at the code and thinks like, what the? I don't read Chinese. Let me update the window here. Let's try again. Hey, that worked. All right, let's analyze the two backend nodes. Purpose: combine multiple conditions, inputs, and condition output. Dynamically get to the prompt refiner. So I'm just speeding through this. You don't have to read along. I really hate writing. I hate writing so much. So while we wait for this to reconnect, I have time to explain it a bit. Do you want me to explain the issue that I just figured, or do you want me to explain the difference? What this is doing? So the workflow is just a plain workflow. It's just image generating. And the issue, why not? So I just created a simple workflow. I tried to create a random prompt where I have basically a positive and a negative input here from my nodes. It's the same as if we use a clip text encode node. It's just more slick. So this one here is my positive and this is my negative. Well, I wanted to create 3 different images just to prove a point, whatever. We just need one image for now to see the differences between combination and concatenation. My observation of concatenating your prompt is that the processing of the prompt has been taken more literal. It's like you're turning on literal mode to your prompt. Like it takes every word that you say more literal, or every combination rather that you write literal in your concatenation than in the combination. So this is the single prompt to prove that my node does the same as your text clip encode node. I put that one in here, cue it again, and then we get the same image. It's actually slightly different, which is still funny, because that shouldn't be. So this is the first image created, and this is the second image created. That's actually funny. And then we have the concatenating, which is this one here, which gives us a different image. But we are still using the same... Oh, now he's combining. Let's make it more visible. This is the main prompt. We have no negative in, but we have this prompt in here. The weights is 1 for everyone here, so that has nothing to do. There's no influence here. I could also just have used a plain text input field, but I just wanted to show off my own notes. Sorry for that. I still don't get the difference though. Let me show you the correct combination versus concatenation now, okay? This prompt here is going to be the combined prompt. This here combines all those tokens together and gives me exact this prompt. Okay, so this here gave me now the entire prompt. So now we take this here, concatenate it, so put it in order. Now it values each item here the same and creates an image. That gives me this image. So we see here the difference between this one and this one. I cannot show the text of the concatenation because In the concatenating, we are taking the direct conditioned input of the input fields, which means they are non-humanly readable any longer. They have been converted, so this text field here has been converted into numbers, into an equation that the AI can then read afterwards. That is happening by using the clip in your prompts, right? So this node here combines all of those inputs and then concatenates it into a non-humanly readable text. The reason why I can do this here is because I also coded the node that it provides me an output with the combined text prompt. This node never receives a combined text prompt. It already receives just numbers that it has to put in order to create an image. So that is the biggest difference between concatenating conditions and combining text inputs. I think there's also a concatenation text prompt, text concatenate. So that is from a different developer. He concatenates text prompts, but concatenation for text prompts doesn't really make sense. I can show you. Let's take that one out and put it, I don't know, in here for now. So concatenating converts the text. No. Concatenating is the method of putting your conditions or your text prompt in order. So the way prompting works, right? When you use a simple text code, I forget this name, clip text encode node, right? You put in your humanly readable text. So you have that one in. This is your text. And when you don't know what's happening, you assume that this text here goes into this thing here and he reads what's in there, right? But that's not happening. What is actually happening is this prompt here is getting tokenized. That's how it's called. And transferred into numerical values, which the K-sampler then can read and interpret. You have to think of it's a mix and match. Usually a token is a part of a text that you use. Let's just say humanly, right? Hum is basically a token. Because out of hum, you can make human, you can make humble, you can make humus, right? So in terms of AI logic, hum is already a token. I am not 100% sure if that is also true for the interpretation of a clip, which is the encoding, so which makes your humanly readable text a numerical value, right? There are different methods to do that. This here is the clip method. That's why it's called clip here. If that counts this here as a token, hum, or if I write humanly, comma, so it takes the word as a token. I am currently working, when I say tokenize my prompts, I'm working with this here, humanly, to be my token, which I then can give a weight or just keep it. So if you do this here, write your prompt like that, you get a different outcome than if you write your prompt like that. You basically give this here a bubble for the AI and give it a value, a specific value for the AI on top of the weight that it has. So this is human with the parenthesis. Now we take it off. Now it becomes a spelling actually. So that's the difference. That's actually very interesting. That is a good question. Why does it do this? So there are several factors playing in. That's why I'm not able to 100% analyze this. One factor is the image size. We are currently working with 360 by 360, so the image is not able to generate an image in that space that represents a human. That depends on the training data of the model. Usually those models have been trained in a image ratio of 512 by 512 for the SD model 1.5. So that might be a reason for the mismatch. So let's now do the combination here. This here combines the prompt from earlier. So this is our combined sphere, where I now took the close-up off with a seed of 0. Let's now take this one here. So that is then the concatenation image of it. So this is concatenating versus combining. And then there was an issue here. So let's take this one here. Once again, this is concatenating the text. And I observed earlier that concatenating a text prompt compared to... I just need a clip text and code now. So, what I'm showing you here, this node here states that it concatenates the text prompt, right? So that means that in theory, it does the same as this node here, but with the text. But what it does not do now is it does not transform it directly into a numerical value. That's why you have to edit the text that he has concatenated. Basically, it just has done this here. Or if you switch the inputs, then it puts in a different order. That would be true on the combination as well. And then transforms it into a numerical value, which then the K-sampler is able to read. But this here was not different from this here. And this here is combining. But this here combining the text prompt first and then making it to a numerical value instead of making each input a numerical value first and then concatenate it, put it in order. Basically, it's also nothing else than combining concatenated inputs here, I assume. Gives a different input or output, image output, as we saw before. So what it does is it takes each input and gives it the same value and then combines it. So it basically puts a bubble around it and then says like, okay, you have value, you have the same value to the next input that comes and to the next input that comes and to the next input that comes. Instead of blending it together. And by concatenating, you will be able to have more control over your prompt. That is correct. You can say it exactly like that. It does not bleed over to the other one. The AI has to treat each input individually and respect the value of it when creating the image, while in the combination, it will analyze the entire prompt and create an image out of that. And that can indeed, bleeding is maybe a good word for that, lead into, or blended tokens. That's why prompting is so valuable, and that's also why my separating in 9 different categories in total gives you the control over the prompt or over the image. You are literally in control over the image by using that, because you direct the AI to use each individual input of your topic to treat it equally, instead of writing one big prompt in one single input. The smaller the prompt here, the better the output actually, because you don't give the AI chance to merge the tokens into an image. And when that is said, if I would know how to code, if I would know how to train models, if I would know how to generate the next version of Flux or Stable Diffusion or whatever, if any one of those are listening by any chance, I don't think so, I recommend them heavily to define their training like I do my images. Create a guide that overlooks all elements in a prompt, subject, environment, style, shots, and detail. Each of them will be individually trained on everything on the subject and knows everything exactly for that. The guide knows a rabbit. The guy that makes the rabbit or the subject knows everything about every species and whatnot. So if you write a rabbit, the guide is able to pick a rabbit from here, the scenery from here, and everything here and generate the image. If you build your trainings data up like that, you will get the best images ever because you have the expectation closer to the human expectation when they create their image. But what do I know? I'm just 3 months in, so don't take my word for granted. I also cleaned up the workflow from yesterday. I cleaned up this workflow as well. I actually also wanted to talk a bit about upscaling, but we can do that on Monday maybe. So this year became a literal mess and doesn't serve my purpose any longer. I have to clean it up. There we go. So that was the setup for concatenating versus combinating. Oh, and by the way, the first 50 followers on Twitch will get a free standard version of my note suite.